Hello, everybody. How are you? It is now 6:31. I am Penda James. I am a scribe coach, and what I do is I assist people to get unstuck, execute their goals, and inscribe their legacy. And what you are watching is something that I am calling the Resilience Project. This is an opportunity for me to introduce my friends to my friends so that we can all do great work in the kingdom. Everybody that I'm talking to is someone that is special to me personally or special to someone who is special to me. And so today I am speaking with Miss Ambrosia Johnson. And while we are getting ready and gathering around this table of discussion, share this post with somebody who knows Ambrosia and tag somebody who needs to understand what it means to have keys to the queendom. Ambrosia Johnson is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She's a mommy. She has her master's degree. She's a social worker at heart. She's a life coach. And now, adding to this awesome repertoire of her life, she is a published author. Is there something, Ambrosia, that I did not say about you that you want people to know?
I think you pretty much said everything that I can think about, but I'm just a normal everyday person. Normal everyday person.
Okay, normal everyday person. There's more to you than what you are saying, but we are going to get into that as we begin our conversation. So, thank you for coming today to share not only about your book, but to share your testimony and to give leaders. Tonight is for women, but men, if you're watching, thank you. To give leaders a declaration and some tools to help remind them that they are resilient and why they already are resilient. So, my first question to you is, can you please define for us what it means to have keys to the queendom?
Absolutely. And thank you for having me. So, having keys to the queendom means just having all the confidence, all the knowing, being infirmed, and knowing what your purpose is without reasonable doubt, without questioning, without having to look to this person for confirmation, look to that person for confirmation, but you just internally knowing that I have all the tools and the resources that I need to conquer my purpose and to do what I have been called to do, despite what others have to say, and despite what has happened in life, despite the mistakes I made. It's just having all the confidence and knowing who you are and whose you are.
How did you come to this realization in your life?
So I came to the realization, I would actually say just recently, over quarantine time, I had taken the time to really do a lot of self-reflection, and just getting back to just like my roots and saying like, God, what is it that you have called me to do? I know my purpose is bigger than me having a master's degree. I know my purpose is bigger than me being a mom, right? I know my purpose is bigger than what my current situation was at the time. And so as I just spent time reading my word and just growing closer and closer to him, he began to like reveal things to me. So like prime example, things that I learned and maybe even a skill that I learned in school, it aligns perfectly with my purpose. Like as far as being, having a social work degree, one thing that we're always taught is to meet people where they're at, right? And so when I'm like working with and mentoring young women, instead of trying to bring them up to the level that I know they can be, I just meet them where they're at. Just meet them. And that's what Jesus does. He meets us where we're at, right? Like the woman at the well, he just met her where she was at. And so that's how I came to just spending time with God.
I mean, this is so intriguing to me. And I want you to, can you talk about how Like, how has having keys to the queendom been a thread throughout your life?
Um, well, like, like I just said, recently, it hasn't always been a thread throughout my life. And that's a part of my testimony. I struggled with my identity. I struggled with self-doubt, and just questioning myself and my purpose. So recently, me just realizing that I am a queen and I do have the tools and the resources, that I need to do everything that I have been called to do, and even because, and I just have to give glory to God. But even, with the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So with that being said, with me being on God's path, I have the keys to the queendom because he already knows the tools and everything that I need to do whatever it is that I've been called to do. Whether it's through, a key could be life experience.
Okay.
Sharing a lesson that you knew that you've gone through life experience with someone else who's currently going through it. And even like affirmations. And so keys to the queendom recently has really been like a thread in my life since the start of Corona, which was what, in like February or March? I get March. So
it was March 13th that the world went on lockdown. And I remember that because my birthday is March 12th.
Oh.
Yep. That's what I remember. So can you like just delve a little bit deeper into what you want for us to understand about the queendom or being queens, or how you began to walk in your queen shoes?
So literally, I was sitting on my bed and I was having some quiet time to myself, right? Because working from home was crazy. And then becoming, like, I guess you could say, a stay-at-home mom. So I literally came upstairs and I was like, all right, God, I need a minute to just ground myself. And it just like hit my spirit. And I was like, you know what? You're a queen. Like, all you've been through, all you've overcame, all you've conquered, the fact that you still get up each and every morning and you still keep pushing and pressing despite knowing the storms that are coming your way, but you still get up, right? You still get up, put your crown on, dust yourself off, you keep it pushing and you keep it moving. And so it's kind of like, I had a conversation with my sister and we were talking about, the voice in our head that always tells us we can't do it. So it's like, now if someone else were to talk about us that way, we've been told them about themselves, right? So it's like, why do we allow that voice to talk to us that way? If that makes sense. And that's the revelation, I guess you could say, she gave to me. And when I thought about it, I'm like, that's true. Like, why do we, because at times we're our own worst critic, right? Like, we talk about her. I know, just being transparent with you, I do it. Like, you can't do that. Like, girl, did you see? Don't, you can't do that. You can't get up there. You can't speak on this. Like, who are you to do that? But it's like, no, I'm a queen. I'm purposed. I'm restored. I'm saved. I could, I got this. I can do this. I have all the tools and resources that I need, and on top of that, one main thing is like the fact that we're human, like we're human. So it's like, I'm going to fall. I'm going to trip, but it's okay because I'm a queen. And what queens do is we pick ourselves up, we dust ourselves off, we put our crown on, and
So who is your favorite queen? Now I know this is going to sound interesting, but when I think about like television, I think of Coming to America. And like as this example of a queen. Biblically, automatically we're going to think of Queen Esther, but is there an example for you of a queen that we can all relate to? And tell us what some keys are that she exhibits. This was not one of the questions, but that she exhibits to the queendom.
So does it have to be like an actual physical queen or somebody in my life that I would consider?
Why don't you go with somebody in your life? That's good.
I said her like Queen Elizabeth. I know she wore jewelry. She got nice suits and hats, and she been ruling for a while. But I would say a queen in my life is my mother. My mom has gone through a lot, but one, like, we as children, we never knew. She always kept her poise and her posture. She never complained and talked bad about life. She always just prayed and just continued to press through. Some of the keys that she had is she always knew who she was and whose she was. And I remember growing up, she would always tell me that, like, Broja, you need to know who you are and whose you are. Like, sit back and take the time to really think. If someone were to ask you the question, who is Penda? What would you be able to say? Or who is Ambrosia? Like, could you really honestly be able to answer that question?
I remember when I was like in the 7th grade, my grandfather asked me that. Who is Penda? And I'm like, oh, I'm Will and Marilyn's daughter, and I'm the sister of Joy, JC, and Fred, and he was like, no, that's what you are. Who are you? Now, as an adult, I understand I am a daughter of the King. I am purpose, like you said. I have a calling on my life. And the reason why I asked that question, as you're talking and I hear you, and you're so beautiful and so poised and all these things. And I'm wondering, sometimes we have these generic conversations. Girl, you a queen. Hey, queen, what's up, queen? We say all these things, but there really literally might be somebody out there who cannot relate to what a queen looks like. And so that's why I wanted you to be able to relate it to somebody. Like, we call Queen B, I don't want to say her name. I don't want them to shut me down, but, we call her a queen. But give us an example of somebody that we know, like Queen Elizabeth. A lot of people don't pay attention to her. But is there somebody in everyday life, whether she's a cartoon or, whoever, and what makes her a queen?
Well, the first lady who came to my head, honestly, was like Michelle Obama. Like, I just really truly think that she is just such a queen, from the way that she carries herself to the way that, she walks and talks, to the way that she dresses. Everything about her says queenliness. She was always, worried and concerned about the general health of people. Like, I know one thing that I'm familiar with was she did the, like, healthy, I don't know the exact name, please forgive me, the healthy eats in school programs, like getting better food for school. Like, she actually cared about people, and just their food and the things that they eat, the education, and just even the way that, through all the things, just being in a public eye, she was never in any, like, scams or drama, or, we never caught her doing or saying anything, wrong. She always just seemed confident in who she was, and and I just feel like for her, she never, well, to me, I've never ever caught, like, a vibe from her that she needed to prove herself. Like, she always was kind of like, look, I'm the president's wife. Here's what I have been called to do, and I'm going to do it. I don't need to prove nothing to y'all. But
You said something right there. I'm guilty of that. And so thank you for saying that. And I wanted to go back to your mom. Thank you for honoring your mom. And there's no difference between what you said about Michelle Obama and what you said about your mama. And that was why I wanted somebody who's listening who's like, okay, what is a queen? I hear that all the time. You just gave us some dynamic examples of what a queen looks like. And so when we look in the mirror, now we know we queens too. Mm-hmm. Do you have an excerpt or something that you want to read for us?
Sure. So do you mind if I show the format of the book really fast?
And no, I want you to talk about your book and then come back in the comments and tell people how they can they can support you and purchase it. And while you're looking for your page that you want to read, I just want to say thank you all who are watching us tonight and who will come back and watch the replay. If you don't know me, I'm Penda James, and I am a scribe coach, and I assisted Ambrosia with getting her book to completion. So I'm really, really excited to see her shining literally with her book in her hands. And I have books too. I'll come back and put my website in the chat just as Ambrosia will. But if you are stuck and need some support, I'm here. You ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Let's read.
So, okay, so here is the setup of the book. So it's just a day one, right? You have your scripture, you have like an excerpt. It might be a memoir, it might be like a word of encouragement. It might be some of my testimony on how it came about. Then you have your affirmation, okay? And then you have a prayer that you can read, and then reflection questions. Now, the purpose of the reflection questions were really to become rooted in it, in the affirmation, because you have to read it. Another word for affirmation is declaration, right? You're making a declaration, you're declaring something, you're saying this is what I am, period, point blank, right? So initially I was going to read the section titled Introduction, Let's Talk Queendom, and I think I'll go ahead and read that part. So it says, have you ever heard of Queendom? If not, here's my definition. A sisterhood of like-minded women from all walks of life with the main purpose of encouraging and uplifting one another to discover and activate their divine purpose through prayer, words of encouragement, fellowship, and accountability. Every woman is unique and brings something different to the Queendom. Each of us is at a different stage or level in life. The purpose of the Queendom is to empower other women and to hold each other accountable to be the best we could be. We always see women in competition and putting one another down with harsh words and judgment in social media and reality TV. Oh, and let's not forget about violence. But in the Queendom, we accept one another's flaws and understand that this is what makes us us. We will stand strong to combat the stereotypes that women are petty and catty, and to show the world that women are fierce, strong, powerful, intelligent, and beautiful. We are also team players, bosses, and we are so much more. Other than wanting to see women love themselves for who they are, this journal was wrote to bring awareness for the need of unity among women. And that's not all, but that's just a little snippet of it.
So it's a 30-day affirmation journal. And so, like she said, it includes her reflections, a declaration for each of the 30 days, writing prompts, a prayer, and lots of reflections. So, ladies, as you are working on your queendom keys and gathering who you are as a queen, this would be a great resource. And I'm quite sure that Ambrosia would love to join you in your reading group and do it with you for 30 days. Mm-hmm. What do you want us to know about having keys to the queendom, Ambrosia?
So what I want you to know is that you already have the keys to the queendom, because the keys to the queendom are internal. And the only thing that you have to do is just bring them out. You're already working and operating in them. Sometimes we don't recognize that we have them, right? And so you already have the keys to the queendom, right? The keys to the queendom are the things that you believe, the good things about yourself. The fact that you are strong, you're awesome, you're powerful, you're wonderful, you're amazing. And the list goes on. I can't even, there's so many in my head. They like stumble one over another. And I get so excited to talk about it. But, it's time for you to unlock and unleash your queen. Like, no matter what life has said about you, no matter the mistakes that you have made, you have the keys to the queendom, which are the words and the affirmations, and most importantly, the things that God says about you are the main parts of the keys to the queendom. But now it's just time for, you to believe it, receive it, unlock it, and unleash it.
I love that imagery, unlock and unleash her. So unlock and unleash your queens, ladies, because you already have the keys.
Already have them.
I just want to share that there's some comments, and so the ones that I can see, sometimes I can't see them in real time, but thank you for coming back and engaging with the people and reading them for yourselves. People are saying hello and thank you. Sharnay Hearn Davis, she said, wow. Miss Marla Roebuck, she says she loves it. She loves your devotional journal and she's reviewing it now. Kara says, hey.
Hey, Kara.
And unlock and unleash, those words are so, so powerful. So tell us how we can connect with you, and then don't forget to come back and put that in the chat for us. And any other final words that you have, the floor is yours.
Sure. So you can follow me on Facebook at Queendom Life Community. That's my Facebook page, Queendom Life Community. Also, you can visit my website, which is just my name, ambrosiajohnson.com. Please like and follow. This is just the beginning of what God is doing as far as the Queendom is concerned. Women, we are called to do great and powerful and wonderful things. There's just so many gifts and talents that we have been equipped with. And I'm just super excited to meet with you, talk with you, Zoom with you. Zoom with you, and just remember, you're a queen.
You are a queen. Period. Point blank.
I always say, I've been using this slogan, as always, keep it queenly. As always, no matter what the circumstances, the situation, how mad that person is making you, or keep it queenly.
I mean, when the t-shirt is done, I'll be ready to wear it because I love that.
T-shirts. Yes, t-shirts and pins and
yes, ma'am. Because I think sometimes, even though we have this mentality or this vision of what a queen looks like and what a queen is, sometimes on bad days, I can say I forget. And I need a reminder, So I always know that I'm a queen and I always know I'm walking in my queen shoes, but sometimes on bad days, it's tough. And I'm just going to be honest. That's why I was asking that question about people in our life. Because we, especially in the church, we have all these lofty terms and definitions about things, but you broke it all the way down until it was broke. So you are ready. You have been unlocked and you have been unleashed, queen. So go forth and sell lots of books and get on those stages where you're supposed to be, coaching and using your degrees and all of that, because you are in your season, honey.
Amen. I received that. Thank you. Yes. All queens along with me. Let's go.
Yes, let's all go. Let's go. We got the keys now. And so thank y'all. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, you just said the queendom. Let's all just go in and just go, just bringing it together. That's the queendom.
Really, and that's another principle I was just thinking about, was that the queendom is like an African principle, because you're saying we. You're not saying it's about me. It's not keys to me being a queen. It's keys to the queendom. And so a queendom is all of us being in there together, celebrating in what God has given us. So thank you for that reminder too. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
It just makes it work. Because like, if I didn't meet you, this probably wouldn't have come to pass. Because you remember my initial book cover.
I do remember.
You, Soleil, Bridget, everybody. Like,
the queendom came together on behalf of a queen to make her shine. That's what we do. That's what we do. So thank y'all so much for joining us. Please like and share and subscribe. I'll come back and put the YouTube link in here. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's so many more Resilience Project chats. I don't know if that's what this is going to remain to be called, but there's so much more in store for y'all. And thank you for watching. I love you so much.